My best friend's wife told me she loves me and wants to have a relationship. Not an affair, but a relationship. I have no idea how to react. I'll try to keep this brief and only include important info. First off, the primary details. I am 23 meters. My friend is 24 meters. His wife is 21F. I've known him since I was 5 and they have been married for almost 4 years. I've only gotten to really know her in the last 8 months or so. A week ago I went to a bar with the two of them and around 12 my friend had to go home, so it was just me and his wife. We decided to go dancing, which started out innocent enough. But after a few drinks she starts getting pretty dirty. She could tell I was uncomfortable, so reassured me that my friend was okay with it. An hour later of sweaty grinding, the bar's close. So we walk back to my car. I am sober, she's drunk. She stops me before we get in and starts asking me what I think of her. I say the same things that every guy would tell a girl married to his best friend, trying not to make things weird as it was obvious she wanted to get some love confession out of me. She then goes on and on about how much she loves me, how if she wasn't married she would have sex with me, how she wishes she could just marry both of us. She kept saying that she loved me, but she still loved my best friend too, just in a different way. I lay awake in bed all night just repeating duck in my head over and over again. The next day she calls me and asks to meet up to talk about everything. This is when things get mind-blowing in my opinion. She talked to my friend about how she felt and supposedly, he was okay with it. He understood that she has needs. And as long as there are boundaries he's fine. She doesn't want to have an affair, but she wants to develop a relationship with me that would be very loving and super close. We wouldn't be able to have sex, but we could cuddle and hold hands. She said she would have to see me at least once a week. She even suggested I move in with them so that I could see her every day. I asked what exactly the relationship would be, seeing as how we couldn't be physical. Our development would be seriously limited and I could never marry her. She says, I wouldn't rule that out. She thinks that in the future somehow we will be able to have some kind of three-way marriage where we all have sex and live together like a hippie commune or something. I tell her I have to think about it. Really, my mind is just full of duck. She seemed shocked that I didn't just jump right in. She said she wasn't expecting me to hesitate the way I did. I can't honestly believe she proposed this to me. Seriously, what on earth am I supposed to do? I should say that although I am physically attracted and not so much anymore emotionally attracted to her, I have no interest at all in this proposal. I have yet to talk to my friend about it. I feel like she's requesting the most selfish type of relationship. If she gets 2 guys and expects me to stay close with her in case there is a chance we may get to have sex. Why on earth would I agree to that? The worst part is she genuinely feels like this is a good thing. She would truly feel broken-hearted if I said no. In her mind there is nothing unnatural about this, and she fully expects that it would work. So I guess what I am asking for is advice on how to say no without ruining my friendship, and without creating drama. Also, any general opinions or thoughts would be appreciated. I hope this is all coherent, and it doesn't sound like I am rambling. I am still trying to sort it all out, and I am not the greatest writer out there. Edit. Okay, so I figured I would do a follow-up for those interested. I talked to my friend alone and told him I felt weird about it and that she mentioned long-term wanting to get more physical, that is sex. Turns out she didn't mention that part. He seems to be in a bit of a denial state, saying things like, well, I don't think she would ever do that. He was okay with cuddling and dancing stuff, but that's about it. He knows she can be a little crazy, but like I said previously, he's not the divorce type. Later I talked to her, or I should say tried. It felt like I was talking to a brick wall. I told her I wasn't comfortable with the situation and that I just wanted things to be the way they are. I didn't want to be alone with her and I couldn't dance with her anymore. I figured I would try to resolve it without just cutting her off. She kept trying to convince me to just give it a try, saying my friend was okay with etc. etc. We talked. I am circles for about 10 minutes before I realized it was futile to reason. So unfortunately I am going with option B. It's only been 15 hours since our conversation, but I am essentially cutting her off. I am sure I'll still see her, but only when she's with my friend. She's texted me twice today, but I haven't answered. Shit sucks. But I am hopeful things will improve. On a related note, some people are saying I am being closed-minded in all of this. I have nothing against poly relationships, but she chose to marry into a monogamous one and I don't think my friends is okay the fact she now wants to change. She is also not telling my friend the whole truth. So there you have it. Sorry for typos and bad format, I am on my phone and I am lazy. And this is why we don't get married when we're 17. Talk to your friend. He may not know what is going on. If your relationship with him is more important than your relationship, whatever it is, with his wife, that should be your first check, before anything else. Secondly, if you don't want to get involved in this, Admittedly, strange relationship she's asking for. You don't have to. If you don't want to, don't and distance yourself from her. In fact, it might be best not to be around her if your best friend isn't around. There are other women out there who don't have this level of attachment. Second story. I have definitive proof that my girlfriend is cheating on me. Now what? The setup. So I've been with this girl for 3 months now. We have a great relationship. We see each other almost every day and stay for the night at my apartment almost every night. Since she is almost always at my place, she leaves her laptop on the living room table. Usually she chats with her friends on Messenger or Facebook or by SMS while we watch TV. She don't really care if I can see what they are chatting about, but other times she is more secretive. And I respect that because I trust her. Yesterday she received a message from one of her good guy friend. He is a guy she works with sometimes and they have been friends since before I known her. That guy is married and has children. This is important. The message was, literally, I want your ass. I ignored it, thinking he might be joking, but then my girlfriend started to chat with him, and would always minimize the messenger window each time she sent a message. And when she was receiving a new message, the icon in the taskbar glowing orange, she didn't open it immediately. She would ask me things like, can you go get something or can you start the movie? So when I stand up she could check the message and answer before I sit back next to her. So anyway, I managed to see a part of the conversation and it looked like they were flirting hard. I should have asked her or confront her about it, but she clearly didn't want me to see that, and I thought I was just imagining things. Later she just turned off her computer saying, I'll turn this off. Right now I am with you. This is, I think, the first time she did this. Usually she would always have her Facebook open just in case, but then she started to send text on her phone, and she was as secretive. As with Messenger, I managed to see 2 messages she received from that same guy, where are you now? And at lunchtime, I was more and more suspicious. She was also more loving than usual. Little kisses, hugging me a lot. It was different. Later we took a bath together and she talked about him, how he was a good friend and other things. It was not the first time, so I ignored that too. She can have good guy friend. Right. This morning she chatted with him again, but they were talking business and she didn't hide anything from me this time. She usually wear makeup, but today she took a longer time to prepare. She looked as beautiful as when she goes out on the weekend. I actually mentioned it to her, but she just didn't seem to mind that. Then she left. The proof. I'm all for privacy in a relationship, and to trust my girlfriend, but this morning it was too much. Her laptop was there on the table. I had to be sure, so I check her messenger history. Shame on me. But strangely, it was almost empty. There was only her conversation of this morning. At first I was kinda relieved because I feared I would stumble upon things that I didn't want to see. But then I noticed that the recycling bin was full. I looked at it and there it was. The history folder. Copied it from her laptop to my computer. Took a shower to calm myself before starting to read. And then I read it. It was not a long history. It seems that she is deleting it from time to time. So I got straight to that guy's history and started to read. And there it was. The final proof that I needed. With all the sexy details. And the fact that they missed their chance to have sex this weekend and how my girlfriend wanted to duck him that night. It was all there. From what I understand, they were having an affair from before I was in relationship with her. I don't care what happened before our relationship. It's not of my business. But she can't continue to duck that guy while we are together. Now what? Now I don't know what to think or do. I was not suspicious of them since the guy was married and had kids. But now I remember all the time that my girlfriend was acting weird when talking about him. How she told me he was cheating on his wife and how it was so stupid and how she would never have sex with that guy. I want to forgive her, but I just can't let that be without talking to her about it. And of course I can't tell her that I read her messenger history. She's guilty of cheating on me, but now I am guilty of spying on her. But even without the messenger history, I still have her suspicious behavior and secret chats and texts to confront her. What should I do? Too long didn't read. I was suspicious of my girlfriend cheating on my. I looked at her messenger history for proof and found out I was right. How can I talk to her about it without revealing that I look at the history? I still love her and I still want to be with her, but I don't know what to do. Update. So just before coming here, she tells me she got robbed at her apartment. I didn't feel like comforting her anymore. So I talked to her when she got here. I was not feeling well. I told her we had to talk and hugged her. My feelings were all messed up. So we sat down and after some time I tell her about yesterday, how I was not comfortable with her talking sex with her friend and hiding it. She tells me that that guy talks sex with all the girls. I told her that she was talking a lot about him, etc. She tells me that she would never sleep with that guy. because he has a wife and kids. So I tell her more specific stuff, like how she told him that last time was perfect while they were talking sex yesterday. Then she says that yes, they had sex in the past but it was some time ago, and that yes, it was good. Seeing a contradiction here. At that point I wanted to forgive her. Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe she wanted to have sex with him last weekend, but didn't because of me. Then she was less calm. She accused me of not trusting her, that I didn't want her to go out with her friends, etc. Then she tells me that she should just take her stuff and leave forever, telling me things like you realize you're losing me because of this. And I said that I didn't want that, but it was too late. She gathered her stuff all while blaming me about it, laughing because I made a big thing out of that, saying I was stupid to have told her that just when she got rubbed, that I took internet jokes as a real thing, etc. I was really sad. I wanted to tell her to change her mind, but at the same time I wanted to tell her that I knew about the messages where she tells him that she wanted to have sex with him, etc., but didn't. Then she left. I don't feel so bad about it now. I think her last action, to take her stuff and leave, was the last proof I needed to be done with it. She didn't even seem to care, like she was not loving me at all. She was mad about it, saying she was with me every day for a week now and that there was no way she would have cheated on me, etc. I guess I will know how I really feel about it in a couple of days. Update 2. I wrote her a big message on Facebook right when she left. I told her why I was upset and why I asked her about that, mostly what I felt about yesterday, and I told her everything I knew about her and her friend. I told her it was clear that she was in love with him but couldn't be with him because of his family, and that she was dating me to forget, and I told her I was always trusting her but this time it was too much, etc. She texted me back later to tell me that I was right about her loving him and that she was dating me to forget. She told me that she was really falling in love with me, but she ended her message with too bad. Then she told me that if I had never been snooping, I would have never known about it. She would have forgotten him, and we would be happy now. Now that I know all that, I kinda feel better. She really is trying hard to deny her faults. At the same time I am sad that she didn't talk to me about it before our relationship. We did have a great relationship, and, without her cheating and lying, it would have been perfect. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.